I think we're going to stop right there with the trimming. Not going to be perfect, but hopefully if we get the right color background material, it should look fine. Welcome back to part 2, RCA 106 Tapestry speaker. Let's pull this old tapestry off. As I showed you in part 1, they call those tacks. They're really just a staple with a wide center on them. We got several of those to pull off because this is all one piece. This material is, so we're going to try to get it pulled off without damaging it any further. So let's get started. Not sure what will work the best on getting these staples out. Try these little side cutters first. See if I can get a hold of it. Then I've got a screwdriver, and I've even got a punch. Get in behind them, so let's see which works the best. Well, the side cutters will get a hold of it, but if I'm not careful, they'll tear the material too. So let's try this punch. Well, I think this flat blade screwdriver works the best. Doesn't take much to get right in the middle and prise a little bit. They'll pop right out. Look at the dust and lint on that. But that was hidden in behind the wood there on that edge, so that's where a lot of that comes from. Okay, we got all the ones off the bottom of the front. About 30 more to go, probably, or more. Okay, I think we're ready to pull this off. Stuck to the board there. Uh-oh, I missed one. So we'll use this to cut our new piece. Give us a rough size anyway. And this cabinet is be cleaning done on it before we put the new cloth on it. Okay, I'm going to attempt to cut out these motifs. I do have my dimensions for the piece of cloth. It's 38.5 across, 22 up and down. I'm going to start with this one on the side. First, I'm going to just cut around it, and then we'll see how we can trim it here in the middle. I don't know how that's attached. Looks like there's just an occasional thread that's fed through and tied. So I don't know. We're going to try it and see. Get my reading glasses on where I can see what I'm doing. Got a small pair of scissors. I think I can trim a little closer with them. Well, as the old saying goes, there's no going back now. There's your two side ones cut out. They're pretty much trimmed as close as I care to trim on those. On this main part, I'll cut out the frame first, and I may go back and trim it a little closer. We'll put that on first, and then I have these pieces, so we'll cut it out separately, put it where it belongs. Then this piece goes here, and I need to do some trimming around it. And then finally the center part, that'll position like that. So I don't know, most of it's there. We got some that's faded out and some completely missing, but I think we're going to stop right there with the trimming. Top and bottom. We'll use Brasso here to clean up this on-off switch plate. Just got to know when to stop. That's about what I want it to look like there. Still got some dark along with the copper color. All right, I'm going to call that finished. Been looking at this veneer missing, and I've been doing some trimming, and that grain is running this way. Yeah, we don't have our little dark grain running down, but I might be able to put one of those in it with some dark stain. I've about got this ready to try to glue it on. And this is sticky back. I'm going to heat it up just a little with the heat gun. First, I want to make sure that I've got it trimmed as close as I can get it. And then once it dries, we'll trim the edge off then. Well, I think that heat gun helped. It feels like it's stuck. All right, we'll sand the rest of the edge. I left it just a little long. Well, that's the best I can do on fixing that little piece of veneer. I'm by no means a professional cabinet man. All right, time to put some finish on this. I have changed what I'm going to use. I'm using some clear lacquer. It's semi-gloss. And I've started here at the bottom. This is the first time I've tried this spray lacquer. And I'll have to say, from what I've seen so far, it dries quick. And it's really smooth looking, so I don't think we'll have to do any sanding or anything. We might just put a couple of coats and let it go with that. So let me finish this up and then I'll show you what it looks like when I get all the lacquer on. I like the way that worked. I'll be using more of that in the future. It's a smooth finish, but pretty impressive. Polyurethane, it looks good too, but you have to let it dry, and sometimes it takes a while. With this lacquer, I mean, basically 15-20 minutes, it was dry to the touch. That's 2 coats of lacquer. So the cabinet's finished. You just get the speaker enclosure wrapped up and put all this back together. And here's the material that we're going to be using. It's not exactly the color that the original is, but about as close as I could find. I think that looks really good. There's what I used, battery powered staple gun with some 1/4-inch staples. So let's see if this back fits. Yep. All right. The switch surround back on. Now we need to put the screws in. The long ones go right there. A couple of them. All the screws back in. So now it's time to lay this on its back and see if we can glue that motif back on. Here's what I'm using, called Fabric Fusion. It's actually just a glue. And I have the border of the motif. It's glued down. We just got a few more pieces to add to it. That's the best I can do. Now we need to put the sides on. Well, what do you think? Honestly, I think it turned out better than I thought it would. We saved that motif and put that new cloth behind it. Get the speaker put back in and all the cables hooked up. All right, put the speaker in first. Got everything hooked back up. Got our wires fastened down. We're ready for the back. Now this back did have that material that covered this, and I may put something on that. I've got some material I could cut a piece, but for right now we're just going to put the back on until I think about that, what I want to do. Here's what's left of it, and it's really thin, just like the made about like the tapestry on the front. And I think it went on something like that. Part of it missing, but it just provided a baffle here where these openings are. We'll see about that. All right, let me hook it up. Make sure it's still working. Our radiola. All right, let's turn it on. All right, we're working fine. So I guess the last thing I'll do is figure out something on that back. Just a matter of cutting a piece of material and then stapling it to the inside of that back. Now let me look it over and we'll figure out what we can do. And there's a back with some material just stapled on the inside. Some scrap material I had laying around, so I think that'll work okay. And we have our radio plugged into that outlet. Require a little bit of cutting, a little bit of shaping of that. So when you turn the speaker off, you also turn the radio off. So that completes the restore on the RCA 106 Tapestry speaker. Thanks for watching. See you next time. We hope you've enjoyed the video. And if you did, how about giving us a like and subscribe to our channel? Thanks.